And to talk more about her congressional testimony, joining me live is Giselle Sharmad, who just launched her new podcast with Waleed Ferris. It's called War and Freedom: Inside Talks. Giselle, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. What a brave speech there you had. It has been almost 4 years since your father was kidnapped. Was this the first time you actually sat in front of Congress to have your story heard?
Yes, Stella, thank you so much. This is actually the first time after almost 4 years. We should have been testifying in Congress when my father, an American national, was kidnapped by the terrorist regime on a flight overlay. But let's say better late than never. I'm happy that I was able to share my story with Congress and with the American public, because when you hear my dad's story, you don't just understand what these terrorist regimes can do here on American soil. My father was almost assassinated here in Los Angeles, then kidnapped on a flight overlay in Dubai. You also understand how our democratic governments, like the American government and the German government, abandon us when we are in the hands of these kidnappers and hostage takers. And that is, I think, the bigger problem, because it shows that it is not just the terrorists and what they're doing to us, but also when our governments have to decide whether they save us from these terrorists or ignore us and pretend that this did not happen and take sides with a terrorist regime because they want to continue their business with them. That is the main problem.
And so just so our viewers know, your father was living in America. He was traveling, and like you said, he was kidnapped during a flight overlay. You know, what's interesting, during that congressional hearing, there were other families there who were talking to other countries, and the same question was posed to them: what will you say with the government? And they were pleading with the government. You did not. You were like, I am not even going to acknowledge you.
I think that is a very good point that you brought up, because most people who become hostages of these terrorist regimes don't have the political insight and the understanding that these are not governments. The Taliban is not a government. It's a terrorist organization. The Islamic regime is not a government. It's a terrorist organization. You don't sit down and talk to terrorists and invite them to your country and take them to the UN and have negotiations with them. You put pressure on them. And just because of my dad and his political history and understanding that and coming from that region, I know that we cannot sit there and wait. These people have to be brought to justice, not just for what they've done to my father and my family, but also what they're doing in the region through their proxies, and what they're doing back at home in Iran, assassinating every person that speaks up and stands up against them. And we have to protect these people in Iran. There are allies on the ground there that can fight the terrorist regime.
For all our viewers asking where One America News is heading in the future, we would like to introduce you to OAN Live. OAN Live is the best way to stay up to date on all of the hard-hitting, straight-shooting, national and international headlines. And the best part is, OAN Live is only $4.99 per month. All the credible, honest, unbiased reporting One America News offers at a fraction of the cost of cable. Just go to OANN.com to easily sign up for OAN Live and stay informed.